Talk Culture. I am Kid Cadet, joined once again by my fantabulous special co-host. He is the voice of Roadhog from Overwatch. It's Josh Petersdorf.
Well, hello, everybody. Good to see you. Great to be back. Just rolled off the old bearskin rug. Fireplace is over here. Can't see it, but it's there. Pleasure to be here again on Talk Culture with the amazing Kid Cadet. And boy, do we have a show for you today.
Oh, we certainly do. I say, without any further ado, let's bring out our guest of honor. He is the hilariously funny, one of my favorite comedians, the one and only Jonathan Mangum. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello!
Golf claps, how's it going?
It's good. Thank you for having me on your program.
Yay, thank you for being here. We're so excited.
Yay!
We are so excited. To all our viewers at home, Jonathan is actually in a theater right now.
Yes. I got to run backstage and change.
Quick change.
A couple of the sandbags fell before we did this. We had to make sure he was safe. Safety first here at Talk Culture. But thank you so much for being on the show, Jonathan. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I am excited to be on the show, and I checked you guys out, and it's awesome. And I also am just a big supporter of people that are just making shit, like just make shit. And you guys are, 100 interviews in, and you've just been doing it, and that I love it. I love it.
Thank you. We're making shit.
Well, no, not
right?
no. You said it. The inflection is important. You're making shit. You're not. We're making shit.
We're making shit.
Yeah, it's
sounds like my
Oxford
9:30
comma.
routine every day.
Well, anyway, we're making shit, guys. We're making it happen. So,
Yes.
thank you
And
so
guess
much.
what? And if you at home are feeling left out, don't worry. All of us at one point of today are making shit.
Making
Oh,
shit.
wow. Okay, cool. Hi, Mom. Okay, so kind of wanted to start by saying, when we were doing a little bit of research, I saw that you're initially from the Charleston area. So I was wondering, what was the comedy scene like in Charleston? Was there a comedy scene?
So I really say I'm from Alabama because I was born there, and I have people there, as they say, but I didn't really grow up there. So I don't know about Charleston other than when I visit.
Screw Charleston.
awesome.
Who needs it? Right.
So Alabama is where I grew up, Mobile, Alabama. All grade school and high school was there. I think there was one comedy club, and I wasn't even into comedy until college. So like, I have no idea if there's even a club still there in Mobile, Alabama. Maybe.
It's whenever I hear Mobile, Alabama, I feel like I have to say it like Forrest Gump, right? Like it's just I don't know.
The cool thing about
Mobile.
Mobile is people don't know this is, people hate it when I tell them this, but I do because I'm from there and I'm proud. Mardi Gras started in Mobile before it got to New Orleans because the French were actually in Alabama before they made their way over to Louisiana, and so the first Mardi Gras was in Mobile, Alabama.
Wow. Okay, history. A little bit of history. I have yet to go to a Mardi Gras. Do you recommend?
Yes, all Mardi Gras. They're great. It's fun. It's just it's another excuse to get drunk, but you get to dress up and people throw stuff at you.
Oh.
So in New Orleans, they throw beads and little doubloons, which are like little coins. And the New Orleans, but in Mobile and Pensacola too, they throw candy. So it's almost like as a kid, it's an equal load of candy as Halloween from Mardi Gras. So it's a big deal for kids.
So you get pelted with candy. That sounds painful.
It is.
I feel like maybe I've been to one at like Universal Studios, but is that count?
No.
Okay.
No, that's like being that's like saying you were in an earthquake because you went to the earthquake attraction.
This whole time I thought that was okay.
I've been to Mexico. I went to Pollo Loco yesterday. I have seen
exactly.
Darn. All right. Well, there goes Epcot. There go. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay.
Mobile, Alabama. What a place, right?
Yeah.
When you mentioned Forrest Gump coming from out there, I think a lot of my family on my mom's side is from Georgia and from Alabama out there too. And there's a distinct smell to the air out there in those southern states. You know what I mean? And how would you describe like the scent of Mobile, Alabama? It's like wet cement and cigarettes.
Earlier we spoke about we're all making shit. So there was some. There was a paper mill in Mobile, Scott Paper Company, and when that stack would kick off, why ever smoke comes out of making paper, I don't know the process, but that would smell not good.
See?
Plus, just the it's so humid. It's like you just walk outside and your armpits are all wet, and it's just like rotted food, and it's not. it's not the greatest smells of places like this, but I do love it. I love going back.
How would you rate the smell of Mobile to LA? Where do we land?
Oh man, it depends on what part of LA. Downtown is just all urine everywhere. The valley
it should be like one of those things you hang from a car rearview mirror. It'd be like underpass, Los Angeles underpass scent. It was just like
I do like to hike sometimes, and when I go hiking and I get up in like the San Bernardino Mountains or some, it smells great because it is just like smells like nature. Like Big Bear smells like that too. It's just like fresh grass and trees and springs of water.
Cool. How do we get on this? But yeah, awesome. Okay.
Jonathan, outside of comedy, being a comedian, what kind of fandoms helped shape you when you were growing up in Mobile, Alabama, to become this person you are? What was your stuff when you were growing up?
I guess growing up, because I didn't want to do comedy, but I did love science and stuff. So I think Doctor Who used to play on the PBS, right? And so I got exposed to Doctor Who every day after school. And then Star Trek also started happening in syndication. So between those two shows, I was just like, this is the greatest of it's all. I didn't care about Saturday morning cartoons. I just wanted to watch Doctor Who and Star Trek.
Okay. Who's your doctor?
Tom Baker. He was the last doctor. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's great. I feel like Josh and I, we do our fair share of conventions, and we've been really blessed to meet a lot of doctors, both from the show and just regular medical doctors as well, but also a lot of companions. And like Catherine Tate was at a convention recently too. I mean, yeah, they're all really wonderful people.
As a kid, I can't remember her name, but Mary Jane, who was John Pertwee and Tom Baker's companion. What was her name? Mary Jane. I don't remember her real name, but she came to Mobile for a Doctor Who convention. And now knowing how, what Mobile is looked at like from the rest of the world, I'm like, man, why did she agree to that? I mean, I thought it was awesome that I got to meet her, but it was like, she must've been like, where am I going today? Oh, Mobile, Alabama. Oh, God.
We don't need any gas. No, we're not going to the Mobile. We're going to Mobile. It's not an Exxon. It's not.
Well, I do believe that you had tweeted that Star Trek is better than Star Wars, which, listen, I respect that. Putting it out there and maybe giving away a bit of my personal life. When I got married, I kept my maiden name, which is Riker, because of my love. Oh yeah, because of my love of Star Trek. Right. I'm captain, commander, whatever. So
and to your husband, you'll always be number one.
I better be number one. So is there a Star Trek character that you most identified with? Do you have a favorite? I mean, obviously there's a lot of Star Treks.
Yeah, I mean, in the same way, because a lot of everyone's favorite whatever has to do with the age they were when they were, going through becoming a man or a woman or whatever, and it's like that kind of sticks with you. So of course, it's cliche, but Captain Kirk, of course, was so awesome, and I got to meet William Shatner, and he follows me on Twitter. When it popped up on my phone, like William Shatner follows you. Like, what? Oh my God!
And they're sending him to space next week.
Yeah, he's 90 years old, going to space.
Yeah. He's going to boldly go where no man has gone before. I'm proud of Shatner for that. He's like, I'm living it. This is fucking method, he said.
Yes.
I don't dislike Star Wars, but I like Star Trek because it's more about an open frontier to me than Star Wars was. And so there's more mystery. Like Star Wars is like, here's the universe, here's all the planets, here's the fighting factions, here's who hates who, here's why, here's what's that. It's like, yeah. Star Trek's like, who knows what's over there, guys? Let's go check it out. And that to me is just more interesting.
Fair
That's
enough.
A good point.
Yeah.
Star Trek does, it was episodic too, so they could branch out further, and you had more freedom in kind of telling the stories. Especially recently, Star Wars has really been pigeonholed into a certain kind of thing. They need to fit it to sell toys, and it's like we used to not know you're making movies to sell toys. Now we know you're making movies to sell toys.
Oh yeah.
The next convention I'm doing, I mean, Shatner returning from space, hopefully. They have William Shatner, George Takei, and Walter. I can never pronounce his last name. When I met him, I said, "Can you help me with your pronunciation of your name?" And he said, "Walter." So I'm.
Did I tell you my story about sitting next to him on the plane one time?
No.
We were going to a convention, and this makes me sound like such an asshole, but I'm okay with that because that's what we do. So I'm sitting next to Walter Kronig, and I sit next to him, and I think, who is this? Who is this decrepit man next to me? Is what I thought, because he looked very tired, and he was very elderly, and he had a hat pulled on, and he looked tired and like he was withdrawn. And then I realized later, it's because he was trying to avoid the spotlight. But then we start talking, and he opens up to me, and he's this wonderful gentleman. He was super warm, and he was telling me how we had bed bugs. Yeah, we had to heat them out 105 degrees. And he's telling me how they had to cook all the bed bugs out of his thing. And I texted my dad, like, I'm sitting next to Chekhov on the plane. He was like, really? That's so cool. And I was like, we're talking about bed bugs. I love it.
That's amazing.
That is awesome. The people we meet on airplanes. But I guess, Jonathan, Jude wants to know, would you rather be a captain or a doctor?
Oh, man. Gosh, you'd think that most people would right away just say captain, but I think that it's kind of tricky. I mean, because a doctor can be do you mean a medical doctor, or do you just mean like a doctor, like a PhD and some cool shit?
Your choice. I mean,
Dr. Theopolis. You don't remember Buck Rogers because that was.
Of course, we remember Buck Rogers. You
gotta remember,
yeah.
So that was a doctor, and he was a robot. So, man, I don't know. Maybe a doctor, like a doctor of physics on a spaceship would be pretty cool. So they like come to you like, hey, how come we see each other in the multiverse and shit broke down? I'd be like, well, because you engage the Belobian device without permission.
Yes, of course. The medical jargon. I love it. Well, So quick side note. One of my friends is joining us right now. She is the wonderful Lady James. And I invited her to come join because she is also part of the Comedy Lab in Orlando. So let's welcome to the stream my friend James. She is fabulous. She is wonderful. What's up, James?
Hello.
Hi, sister.
What's up? It's my spooky sister, James.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
So-
Jonathan. I don't know you particularly, like personally, but I know your brothers from SAC.
Sure. Michael and
Yes,
and
Michael.
Philip, probably. Yeah.
Yep, both of them. I'm of that generation right after you.
Very cool. Yeah. SAC Theater is a really cool theater in Orlando, Florida. If those of you watching don't know, and it's where I got my start and Wayne Brady got his start. And we were doing all kinds of shows there back in the 90s. And then that whole group moved out to LA. And then we were replaced by equally talented group of people.
Yeah, we came in right behind you guys. We learned from what you set up. And SAC is what I credit for all the stuff that I'm doing now with hosting at Spooky with Kid and hosting events around town. And then I have my own burlesque troupe, and I'm the MC of that. And that I can all attribute from learning improv and how to address an audience and a shape of show from SAC Comedy Lab. That was my college. So,
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
exactly. I was going to UCF for University of Central Florida for a degree in psychology, but I literally was going in to take the test after reading the book. Like I never went to class, and then my actual college was, I consider SAC Theater.
Yeah, they actually have SAC University as the classes and whatnot that we get to go through. So if anybody ever wants to do something that has to do with speaking in public or addressing even just a room full of people for meetings, the experience that you get and the training that you get from even just doing a simple improv class one time is immeasurable.
I completely agree, and SAC is a great place to do it. So if you're in Orlando, do it, and if you're not, drive there from wherever you are.
Yes, definitely.
Or teleport if you have a TARDIS.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
They're been on the inside.
That's what they say. So James and Jonathan, I just was curious if there was a moment that stood out for each of you through SAC in Orlando.
Oh goodness, so many of them. Jonathan, you were on ensemble, and I hosted the ensemble show, so go ahead and take one.
I'm trying to remember if there was a single moment. I think it was just more like a thing, which was like, if you want to get good at something, you just have to do it a lot. And we were lucky enough to be doing 2 shows on Thursday, 3 shows on Friday, 3 shows on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. And they were all just about
7, 9, and
sold out.
11. Yep, I remember.
And just doing those improv shows over and over. And I never went to parties. Every single weekend of my life was spent on that stage.
Well, because we had parties backstage in the green room.
Afterwards, yeah. But I never got to actually go to a college party because we were there till 2 a.m. backstage after the shows. So that's just a cool. Even stand-ups would have a hard time finding 3 places to do a show in one night. So I love that we were able to do that for 2 or 3 years in a row without stopping.
And when I was going through it, I was going to classes at the same time I was volunteering. So I'd see the shows and then go to classes and learn how to play all the games and all the little tips and tricks. But what stands out to me the most is, okay, but way back in the day, kid, there was a club called The Edge. And I was at a concert for G-Love and Special Sauce. And all the SAC people were there. And we'd all gone to SAC in high school because that was a cool thing to do because I'm from Sanford, which is about 20 minutes down the road. SAC was a cool thing to do. It was all ages. It was just fun to hang out. And we were all theater kids. So at the concert, all the SAC people were there. We were like starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, all the SAC people were here. And it turned into some weird mosh pit, believe it or not, with G-Love and Special Sauce. I don't know why. And my sister and I were kind of on the prey of that. And Matt Young and all those guys pulled us to safety. So we weren't being thrown into this pit of crazy people as young teenage kids. And then we went back to SAC afterwards and hung out in the green room with all these people that I looked up to so much. And then, years later, I'm taking classes as they're becoming my teachers and my mentors. So that definitely started my journey. And then, becoming the family that SAC became.
That's awesome. Well, James, I love you. I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks at Spooky Empire. Do you want to give a quick plug to Spooky before we let you go?
Yeah, for sure. I got my panels today. Did you get yours?
I sure did, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a packed weekend. We've got so many people coming to see us, including, can I say adult words or do I have to keep it clean?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have my favorite and most exciting panel. I've been chasing it for 3 years now. I have Robert motherfucking England. So that's his new name. That's his new name now. So we're excited for everybody to come to Spooky at the Hyatt Regency, October 22nd through the 24th. All the good rock and roll, horror, pop culture things you can think of: car show, tattoo show, kids zone, vendor room, celebrity Q&As, photo ops, costume contests. I mean, you really can't say enough about it, and talk about becoming a family environment, just like SAC was. It's kind of lend itself to this, to be able to hang out with all the cool people.
Heck yeah. Well, James, I'll see you in a few weeks. Thank you so much again.
Bye, Bye, Jonathan. And hey, Josh.
Hey, bye.
Hi, bye. Appreciate it.
Hi.
All right. Well, thanks,
Jonathan. What would you say, like UCB or like Groundlings in LA, similar to SAC?
Yeah, very similar. I think Orlando was so far away from the real comedy world that Second City in Chicago was going, and Annoyance Theater and UCB and Improv Olympic and all these things, and they all had lots of industry people in and out of them. But Orlando was just kind of way off in the South, and we kind of were our own little thing, and it wasn't as industry you go to Groundlings so that you can get good, so you can get on TV. I mean, that's kind of you're not just spending all that money just because, right. I think it was kind of fun to do a sketch. No, you have ambitions.
You're here for a reason. Yeah.
But Orlando was different. It was, there wasn't a lot of TV going on. So it was just kind of this thing, and hardly any tourists would come. This was all locals and people from the colleges that would come. And so it was unique in that it never felt like it was like part of the greater entertainment business. It was its own thing. And that was really
That's a
cool.
great point. I've been to a lot of these shows in LA, and bless the talent. Some of them are hilarious, great talent, but then some of them are just really attractive and not funny. You know what I mean? I'm like, you are just really good looking, but you are not funny. I see why you're here, but
yeah. Also, I mean, when I see people that aren't funny at an improv show, I used to just be like, well, they're not any good. And now I'm like, no, it's because they're there to get funny. Like, correct. They're failing to get good. So when I see someone fail now, I'm not as judgmental. I'm like, no, that's the process. Like,
you
in
have
5 years, they'll be good.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of wanted to ask, since we are talking about improv, I always like to know if people agree with the rule of yes and. Is that the biggest rule to follow? Are there any other rules?
Yeah, I mean, yes and is the biggest rule, but it's also not completely like people. some people will take it like religion almost, it's like, it's yes and you must, just like, this is like it is the golden rule and you must obey. And it's like, it's not quite that. There are ways to, you should always yes and someone's idea, but you don't always have to say yes and also, I can know what you want me to do. So for example, if I'm doing a scene with Wayne and he's like, I'm going in the bedroom, don't come in here, and slams the door. If I were to yes and that, it would be, okay, I won't go in there and I'll go. But no. He's literally asking, by telling me not to, that's the way I yes and that, is to know him and actually go in, because I know that's what he wants. So it's more of a concept as opposed to a literal rule of saying yes and.
That's so interesting. Like, I actually haven't heard that perspective before. That's very interesting.
Now, when you're teaching improv, you have to start with that, because just the built-in thing is people think that no is funny. Like, hey, will you come and do that? No, they just think it's going to be funny to be contrarian. So you have to train that out of them. But then once you are able to know what it is and want to say yes and, then you can kind of play with it a little bit and kind of take it not so literally.
Gotcha. I like
Great
that.
advice.
Yeah,
I like
very
it
cool.
too.
that's some expert level improv.
I know,
inside
my
baseball.
mind just went blown a little bit. Josh?
Well, I have a little bit of history doing some improv, and the yes and theory for me, the way I always interpreted it was to, sometimes you can just repeat what they say, and while you're repeating what they say, it's giving you more time to think about what you're going to say. The line of improv I do is giant robots, because I do the Transformers show at Universal with Megatron and Optimus Prime. So it's very different when someone you're improvising as a giant robot. But the yes and, like you're just saying, Jonathan, it doesn't have to be religion, but it's more of gathering. You're acknowledging what they said, and you're moving on to the next. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're saying, yes, I heard you, and this is where we're going now.
Exactly.
And like you, on expert level, like you said, if you know your scene partner and where they're going, you can make something really magical happen.
Yep, absolutely. And it is the foundation of the improv. Improv is like dancing, always need a good partner. Yeah, you do, Jude. Absolutely. There's nothing worse than going in. There's a whole another level of thing now where if you have a bad improv partner, then you have to switch modes to steamroll mode, which is not nice. And you never want to steamroll people. You never want to just bury them. But if someone is next to me and they're not good, which usually happens in an audition setting, they'll bring in two people. And if someone's just not bringing it, I will just crush them.
Crush it. Yeah. I'm not going down in this shit.
Right.
No, you can burn yourself to death. I'm going in the sky. All right.
Yep.
You're going, I'm going up.
Josh, I bet, hearing all the stuff that you do, I bet you we have a mutual friend who also went to SAC Theater in Orlando, D. Bradley Baker. You know D. Bradley Baker?
I am in a game, and I've met Mr. Baker several times. He's a wonderful gentleman. I've met him with the incredibly talented casting director, Andrea Toyes, who's with Blizzard. She and Mr. Baker are always wandering on BlizzCon, and he, bless your heart, D. Bradley Baker, because he made that website. As a voice actor, a lot of people get asked, how do I become a voice actor? What are the steps I need to take? And D. Bradley Baker was smart enough and created the website, which you at home can go check out, called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. And it'll take you through pretty much the A to Z list of things required to get into this coveted industry.
It's amazing. He was with us. He was doing improv on stage with myself and Wayne Brady and all these cats from Orlando.
Let's show some love on D. Bradley. The guy is incredible. He can make sounds that I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Any video game heads, for Overwatch's sake, he's Wrecking Ball. He's the hamster version of Wrecking Ball in Overwatch, whereas Jonathan Lapau is the low voice. He does. Him and Frank Welker have this thing when they can just make sounds appear out of their throat, and I'm like, it's like I get goosebumps thinking about it, because it's just such nostalgia gasoline from my past. Those two.
Sometimes he'll post things like, look what I have to read today, and the character description is a drowning baby head in burning oil, and he does it. He does it. I love it.
Sounds like a Tuesday.
Always wearing a nice blazer too. Never caught that guy without a blazer. Met him like half a dozen times. Always wearing a freaking sharp blue blazer. Shout out. to the blue blazer, man.
That's awesome. And I'm definitely going to check out that website. Very easy to remember.
Yes.
Well, okay, Jonathan, I wanted to say, and obviously we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Whose Line, but I don't know if you've realized, but recently they've been playing like pretty much all of your episodes. Like my husband and I, before we go to sleep every night, we always watch a couple episodes. So I think it was 2 nights ago, we got the one where you did your strip routine. And then no, you don't. You took off first. You took off your blazer, and then you don't remember this.
Yes.
And I think your shoes ended up somewhere.
Someone
threw a shoe at you. And then last night, I hope it's okay to mention this, you fell off the stage.
Yes. I did. I fell right off. And it's weird because all of those were taped years ago. Like none of these are new. Like, we haven't had a taping in 2.5 years, but we tape, I tape about 2 days a year. That's it. My stuff. And they turn that into like, one taping day will turn into 5 or 6 or 7 episodes because they'll just keep taking pieces and put them together. So I would like to do more. I heard there's going to be a new season. I was like, oh, here it comes. And I was like, oh, it's just more edits of stuff they haven't put on yet. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, hopefully, they'll get to film more stuff with you soon. The question is, if the points did matter, how many would you have and what would you buy?
Wow. I would have over 50 points and I would buy some Ethereum, I guess.
Smart. I have several Ethereum and an NFT empire building. And no, I'm just kidding. We can speak later about NFTs.
Yeah.
I'm still so confused.
I understand about 80%. I have the same understanding of NFTs as I do of black holes. I generally get the concept, and there's about 20% I'm not getting, but it's okay because I get enough to understand.
More than me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's like what I realized recently is where NFTs truly generate their value is the fact that it's the ETH that somebody spent, because it's the money that somebody originally spent. It's almost like if you were buying cryptocurrency anyway, if you were to buy $20 worth of cryptocurrency, oh, look at, here we go. It's going to throw right over her head. Look at Heather. If you were to buy $20 of cryptocurrency, you would have nothing to show for it other than the $20 in your wallet. An NFT is like, hey, you bought $20 of cryptocurrency, and here's a picture or something that actually represents your $20 of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. I just am learning about the minting process and the gas fees on the Ethereum, and there's a lot, Heather. This might be for another episode. You know what I mean? But
here's a pitch for you, and you can take this if you think it's worthwhile, because I was thinking about doing it. So there's a show that I do on YouTube as well where I have guests come on and make jokes. And a lot of times we have up and coming comedians. So what I was thinking about doing, and I don't know how yet, but think about this too, because you also have people that are, up and coming in different levels. Turn the show, each episode, into an NFT. That way, if someone's career takes off, now it's an investment that's gone up because they can own this thing that exists. So that's just something, right?
Yes,
People
are starting to tie more physical rewards to these NFTs, in the sense that if it's a more expensive one, you would say, hey, whoever owns this at any reasonable point can cash out for an hour one-on-one session with me just to speak. Oh. And once it's expired, the NFT will be, you know what I mean? You kind of dust it almost. And the place where they're sold on, Heather's, is a marketplace called OpenSea. It's basically I want to call it like the NASDAQ of kind of NFTs, when the floor is the lowest price, and it'll statistically analyze everything and how much people are betting and blah, 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 blah. And people can bid. It gets really complicated. It is, I put it to the same as when you go to Vegas. You go to Vegas for $500 and you think, I'm throwing this $500 in the trash. you go in there with the attitude, it's gone. You know what I mean? Anything that happens, this is great. If I get a couple drinks and a steak dinner, hey, that's great, because I assumed I burned this money. And it's the same kind of with cryptocurrency and NFT. Sure. Like, I'm assuming it's gone if something happens.
So you're saying there's steak?
Yes. And
count me in. Yes, and got it. Love that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to do more research because I'm pretending like I'm getting what's happening and I have no idea. Okay, so No, yeah. Well, since you did plug your show, we do have the graphic. Let's bring up the graphic.
Oh, yeah.
Bring up the graphic.
There it is.
Hey, look, it's the same screen.
Whoa.
Yeah. We've been doing
the letters live in my room. He's like,
we've been doing this show now on YouTube we're on episode 91. So we have 2 comedians come on and they'll make jokes based on pictures or memes or ideas. And then we have the audience come up with their own joke in the chat. Our producer pulls out the best joke. It splashes on the screen. And then the audience votes who had the best joke, comedian 1, comedian 2, or the audience member that played. So that's kind of a fun show that we've been doing. We started during the quarantine and we're still doing it because it's still fun.
How clever.
It's great. I've checked out a few episodes. It's really funny. You guys do a great job. Yeah.
And of course, we saw you had Richard Horvitz and Dean Cameron.
Yes, I saw them in your splash video.
Yeah.
Those guys are great.
They're amazing. I mean,
Hilarious.
talk about, it's like you and Wayne have something so special between the two of y'all, and the two of them just, they really work well together.
They're very funny. I loved having those guys on.
Heck yeah. Any upcoming guests that you can tell us about?
No, because it's kind of like if I was smart, I would, book it more in advance. But I'm more like, oh shit, it's Friday. Who am I going to call? Get these guys. So I have a guy that helps me book people. But we do have other programming on the same YouTube channel, on the U-Jokes YouTube channel. We have one show called F Marry Kill Champions.
I enjoyed that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my friend Carolyn Page from College Humor and Dropout TV, and she has comedians on, and they just get random pictures. Who would you rather F, marry, or kill? So it gets pretty. It's a little dirtier than U-Jokes, but it's super funny. And then on Fridays we have a show called High Joke Score, where I just prompt the audience with things like, what's the dumbest name for a pirate ship? And then you type it in, and then every week there's like a top 10 scoreboard like you see in an arcade game, and the winner gets $25 in money cash.
Wow.
So not crypto. Okay.
Not crypto.
Okay. That's
spendable
so neat.
Dollars.
Yeah, I love those. Yay. Yeah, that's very neat. I mean, I always like seeing all these projects that came out of the craziness. And I think this is just such a neat concept. I really enjoy it.
Thank you. It's fun, and hopefully it'll be on TV someday. We're kind of getting our pitch decks together. That's the whole kind of purpose of the channel, is to like try stuff out, tweak it, and then get it in a pitch deck and take it to production companies and see if it can be made for TV. So that's the goal ultimately.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's
circling
great.
back to what you said earlier about creating content. There's so many platforms now that are crazy amounts of content, whether it's Netflix or Amazon Prime or Pluto TV is another one that's blowing up, where there's tons of internet channels on there that are that has a huge audience. It's like worldwide, because it's all internet based. I think that's going to be the future. I think it's going to be funny. We have all these streaming services now, and we came from cable, which was a bunch of channels put together. And in the future, there's going to be like a streaming services. Like, we have all your streaming services here. I'm like, oh, so it's like cable again. We're just going to go a complete full circle all the way around.
Yeah, or even more to the future, and the AI will predict exactly what you want to watch with exactly the kind of characters, and it will create it on the spot quantumly, and then you'll watch the perfect show just for you every time.
I hope so. Yeah, because that's the biggest thing.
You can't share it because everyone has a different show, so you won't be able to. Did you see on the? So there'll be none of that.
Like cerebral. That's a crazy theory. That's a crazy.
Can they also help me like where I want to eat dinner? Because that's the other big thing. I don't know what to watch.
Yes, you and everyone else in America. My God, don't ever. It's like that's the two things you never ask your wife. Where do you want to go eat dinner? And you tell, and you never say, "Hey, honey, you should calm down." Those are two things that you should never. I think you should calm down. Where do you want to eat?
Well,
works every time. What are you talking about?
Fair enough. Now I'm thinking about the future. Oh, that's so spacey. Okay, so a couple more questions before we get into our game with you, Jonathan.
Ooh.
So we wanted to know what's been your favorite audience costume, and what would be your ultimate big deal?
So I have an answer. It's not exactly to your question. That's the number one question that I get about Let's Make a Deal. What's been the craziest costume? Mm-hmm. And if you can imagine, we've done, I think we're close to 2,500 1-hour episodes of Let's Make a Deal.
It's a lot.
So that's like, I mean, so how many times does 365 go into 25? Let's see, almost 10. Math. Okay. So that would be around 10 years of Halloween every day. It all blends into the same. Like when I think about costumes, I think kind of a hot dog mixed with a pirate. It just turns into one costume in my mind because there's been so many. None of them have really been like, oh my God, you attached a space shuttle to your head, and how did we fit it? Like, there's been nothing that's been like mind blowing because they have to fit inside. But every character from every show, someone's dressed as it's just been everything. People have dressed as everything.
I'm trying to think of a hot dog as a pirate.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of where like the plank would be, and it's like, or is it like the pirate ship has the hot dog as the plank? I don't know.
It could be that too.
Where's the parrot go? I'm confused. So, Jonathan and Josh, what would you guys dress like?
Oh. Well, I've been to when I was a young boy. My father took me to the city to see a marching band, and he told me that we did get to go see, when we were younger, we got to go see the backstage in between when they film Let's Make a Deal. We got to do the tour when they would take you through.
Oh.
And they'd have the curtains over the prizes so you couldn't see what was next. And I remember that being a big part of, like, as a child, like, oh, I didn't get to see the car or the couch set there.
So you were a surfer. Okay.
I'd clearly be, you can't be anything that's like trademark. So I'd have to be like a Ghostbuster without like the Ghostbuster logo. I'd just be wearing a tan jumpsuit. They'd be like, are you a janitor? I'd be like, I'm a paranormal investigator, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
A lot of times you'll see people with stickers on for no reason. Like, why are they wearing a Let's Make a Deal sticker? It's because it's covering Nike or it's covering, different logos.
Some sports logo. I know you're like,
smart.
I think that's one of the funniest things about TV is like, how dare you? You want to show this logo that you're wearing our clothes? No, you're going to freaking pay, and you're going to pay back. Like,
oh, the last TV show I just did, they had to cover my tattoos because they said my tattoos were branded. I mean, that was
really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, that happens a lot.
What about this beard? Are they going to say, "Oh, Ryan Durst has a beard like that"? You can't come.
Gotta go. It's off.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
No more beard. So Jonathan, what's your?
I would dress as. Have you ever seen that the stuff, the artwork that people do on sidewalks, where if you're standing at one point of view, it looks like a giant cliff.
The
Then
3D
if
art?
you walk in front of them, you see that it's just a drawing. I would do that so that it looks like an empty chair from the camera's point of view. But then as the camera panned over, you'd see, oh, there's a dude there. What's up?
There's a.
I love that. So, like, do they keep trying to fill in the audience? They're like, come here, here's an open seat, and then someone sits on you.
Yeah, that could be exciting for me.
You take a Cialis and you pretend you're a chair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
cheapest lap dance I'll ever get.
It's Halloween, time to ride the broom, honey.
Oh, that pirate has a hot dog.
This chair had some sausage links on it. I don't know where it came from. This.
Oh no. Oh God. Well, Josh, why don't you ask one more question before we go to the game?
Oh man. Let's just go with a general question. Your career has been so awesome and fun. What is some of the biggest and best advice you've received from your comedian and improv friends and associates?
The best advice, I would say, you have to suck a lot at everything before you get good at it. So don't every time you fail, especially with improv, you're with a group of people. So if you have a bad show, just celebrate that you failed. Like, we failed, we fucking suck, woo, we're terrible. Like celebrate that, because it means you're going to get better. It means you're getting better. It's harder for a stand-up because you don't always have someone on stage with you, but still it should apply. If you fail, it's good. Failure is the only path to progress. There's no way around that. And then also, I used to think through the years, there's two things that will make you successful in entertainment, I think, and that is the talent and then the networking. And I always wondered about what percentages are more important. And more and more, I think that unfortunately, talent is a much, much smaller piece of success than networking. And by networking, I mean your friends and people you talk to and being in people's minds and being there and doing favors for people and always just trying to be present, helpful, yes-anding people, helping out with projects, doing free shit for them whenever they ask. Like, all of that, if you start in your 20s and in your 30s and 40s, by the time you get older, all these people will have moved up. Some are producers, some are agents, some are writers, some are actors, and you all want to work with each other. You all want to help each other. And so, it's not a talent meritocracy in the entertainment business. It's more about that network. And if you're a dick, it's not going to work out for you.
Thank you. That's why being nice is the most important thing.
That's a short way of saying be nice. Or is what's his name? What's Wesley Crusher's real name?
Oh, you're talking
Will
about
Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Sorry, Will, if you're watching. I know Will, just spaced his name. He's like, don't be a dick. And that is just a great piece of advice. Don't be a dick.
That's so true. Put that on my tombstone.
Don't be a dick, be a dude.
Will Wheaton, also one of my favorite people of all time.
He's so nice. He does improv and comedy. We met. He was doing a comedy at the Acme Theater here in Los Angeles.
That's awesome.
I want to see a death match with Will Wheaton and Matt Mercer in like a Dungeons and Dragons. Wesley Crusher versus Matt Mercer.
How do we set that up? How do I buy that NFT? Okay, so Jonathan, we have a game we're gonna play. This is a game of Would You Rather. Obviously, there's no wrong answers. So yeah, you know how Would You Rather works. So Josh, you want to read the first one?
Oh, absolutely. Jonathan, would you rather compete with Wayne Brady on The Amazing Race or compete with Wayne Brady on Nailed It?
I would. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't understand the game. Man, I think The Amazing Race would probably be one because it's on CBS. But also, I love the traveling and the clues and all that kinds of stuff. Nailed It. I don't even know what that is. Is that a cooking show?
It's a cooking show on Netflix hosted by the fantastic Nicole Byer. Basically, they show you what you're supposed to create, and you have a certain amount of time to create it, and it is always bad, like real bad.
Of course.
Like forget the eggs and the cake bad. So, but it's so funny. It's hilarious.
It sounds hilarious. But no, I'm very competitive, and so is Wayne. I think we would both, if you asked him what he'd rather do, I think we'd both pick Amazing Race.
Okay, something I would like to see on CBS.
Yes, make it happen, CBS.
Yeah.
New season starts October 14th on CBS.
I know, right? That's like next week. All right.
You can catch Let's Make a Deal at 9 a.m. on CBS.
Yeah. All right, next one. Would you rather?
Yes.
Oh, be a Klingon or be a Ferengi?
Klingon, easy. Easy.
No hesitation. I love it.
Wow. Okay.
They have. I know Ferengis have a language, but no one cares about the Ferengi language. If you're going to learn some weird Star Trek language, you're learning Klingon.
You could sing the Klingon operas,
yeah. And Ferengis, they were. Were they kind of created to be unlikable? Wasn't that kind of the intent?
I guess. I don't know. I guess I just like some of the actors that have played Ferengi.
Oh, the actors are great. The actors are amazing.
Armin Shimmerman.
Armin Shimmerman,
right? Yeah, Shimmerman, excuse me.
Wallace Shawn, right? Wasn't Wallace Shawn a Ferengi too? And I know we just had Lee Ehrenberg.
Who played his son, Quark's son? Brain fart, but he was awesome too.
Yeah.
Okay. But do you speak any Klingon, Jonathan?
I don't. I've read stuff in Klingon and translated to see what it means, and so, but I can't actively speak any, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fair. That's the next question. But no, all right, here we go. Josh, ready?
All right. Would you rather go back in time and do improv with Jerry Lewis? What a great picture there. Or would you go back in time and do improv with one of my personal favorites, the legend Carol Burnett?
It's funny because you were selling Carol Burnett real hard, but you didn't have to. Carol Burnett, obviously. Jerry Lewis. He is a complicated person. I don't quite know that it would be that fun. Where I do know it would be really fun with Carol Burnett. Just watching the her Carol Burnett show and the way they would all make each other laugh, and Tim Conway and her, and got to work with Tim Conway, which was awesome many years ago before he passed. And that whole era, it's, Carol Burnett is just very yes and. You can kind of just feel it in her vibe. Like she's ready to go. She'll go with any idea. She just has that yes andy kind of energy. And Jerry Lewis is, I mean, he was funny, and I've seen him do funny stuff, but it's a darker place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's different.
And Jerry Lewis's humor is very insulated in the fact that it's Jerry Lewis. You know what I mean? And when he shares the scene with somebody, it's the same. You know, there's color and straight. It's either someone's playing it straight, someone's the color, and he's the color, obviously, in every scene. So
yeah, but there's also like there's like a sadness that you can see even when he's being like super big and stupid, and you're just like, this guy's something sad is happening inside.
Fair.
He's a very
All
sad
right.
man.
Carol Burnett it is. Great choice. Great choice. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather have a celebrity wrestling match against Mark Maron or spent a night in jail with Thomas Lennon?
I've worked with Mark and I've met Thomas, and these guys are both super cool. I think I could probably, God, this is a tough one. I think I could take Mark Maron while I wrestled him. He complained the whole time as I was beating him. And Thomas Lennon, just a side, this is a side thing that is, I apologize for the tangent, but he wrote a book with Ben, what's the other guy's name? Ben, I'm spacing on it, about writing screenplays. And it's the funniest and best book about writing screenplay, how to make $1 billion. They together wrote Night at the Museum and all these big movies. And so this book on how to write screenplays is great and hilarious. And I can't remember the name, but look it up. Anyway, I'm going to spend the night in jail with Thomas Lennon. That's going to be,
Writing movies for fun and profit? Was that what it was?
Okay,
absolutely.
It's comedy. It's like the way they weave the comedy into the how-to is great. I highly recommend it.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Okay, good choice. Good choice. I still want to see that wrestling match, but okay.
I feel like after Mark Maron, you just leave smelling like cigarettes and sadness from the garage.
And cats.
And cats.
But yeah, I have to say Glow is like one of my, well, also Reno 911. I love that show too, but Glow, I'm so sad that it came to an end.
I had tiny parts on both of those shows.
Yeah. Well, hence why we picked.
Oh, duh. I'm thinking,
research.
what a coincidence.
Hey, research. It's important. All right, here's the next one. Josh, I think this one's you.
Would you rather, Jonathan, go skydiving or be driven around a racetrack, in an Indy car?
Wow. I've been driven around in an Indy car by Mario Andretti for a commercial for Honda.
Wow. I mean, like everyone does.
We had him on the stream too, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so tell us everything.
You did have Mario Andretti on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a commercial for Honda, and I don't even remember what the setup was, but the setup was Mario Andretti wants to give a regular guy a ride around the tracks, and so we go down to this racetrack in some Southern California somewhere, and they go, okay, yeah, you're going to be going up to about 175, and there's a camera car in front of you. So there's a camera car with a camera on it pointed at us. Also, another Formula One car, also going like 175. So we're about 3 feet away from each other, going 175 miles an hour with a 75-year-old man driving it. And I'm in the back seat, and it's insane. And I'm just like, man, one little slip up, and this is over. And so we finished going around the track twice, and then I heard in the earpiece, they're like, okay, we got the shot, we're done. And Mario said, I want to take it around again because he loves driving cars. So we went around the track just again because how often does he get a chance to go around the track that fast? It doesn't happen every day for him because he's not doing that as a career. So I think he had an opportunity to make a commercial and do this, and he's just like, I'm gonna do this again because this is what I do and I love it. And so I got to go around again with him, and he was really awesome, amazing guy,
incredible experience.
So skydiving is the answer.
Okay, wow, with Mario Andretti, I take it as your tandem. Yeah. Okay. Can you imagine? Yeah, I think
he's the instructor whispering in your ear. Okay, pull the parachute now. Don't throw up. If you have to puke, go to left side. I'll be fine.
Wow. Oh man. Okay.
Never been skydiving. I don't know if I would want to do that.
Well, that's your choice. So now you must.
I feel like you can mimic the same feeling of skydiving without the inherent death and risk.
Yeah.
You can go to one of those iFly places and just float in the wind tunnel and get a broken rib if you
I've
fall.
done that. No,
Is it not the same? I mean, you're flying. We're flying.
It hurts your back so bad because you're like,
does it really?
Oh yeah.
I never thought of that. And I have a horrible thing when I sleep on like a mattress that's too soft. I'm like the Princess and the Pea. I'm like, there was a pea in my mattress.
Such a diva. Yeah, it's painful. It's painful. But all right, here's the next one. Would you rather? Oh, okay. So for Halloween this year, we loved the names of these. Would you rather be Juice Demon?
What?
Creepy Husband?
Creepy Husband.
Or Pubescent Frog of Silent War?
Is that right? Pubescent Frog of Silent War.
Oh my God. That is insane. Well, let's start like the first one. What is a juice demon, and why is Beetlejuice? I get it.
Yep.
Oh boy, no, that third one, that's insane. It's a silent.
Why is it silent? Why is the war silent?
Oh my gosh, that's I'm the frog. That's it.
Okay,
that's easy.
There it is.
That's
Josh?
some Ender's Game level political shit going on.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go. I already am this. I'm just gonna go with number 2. So I'm a creepy husband. I'm just.
Oh, is that you? That's you.
That's me. It's actually me. They just photoshopped the face out. I wear the pinstripe suit. How dare they say that Gomez is a creep? No way.
Well, no, but it's
Uncle
creepy.
Fester is the creep.
No, it's creepy because it's spooky. Like creepy.
Oh, creepy. See, I think creepy is taking a new. Like I'm reading creep. Like, hey, I'm gonna come touch your leg. Like I'm one of those creeps. Like no. That like creepy. It should have been like spooky husband, maybe. Haunted husband. How about
creepy?
That?
has some negative Me Too.
It has some negative words now. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with the creep.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm the juice demon.
Yep. You will be the juice demon.
Just don't say juice demon 3 times in a row, or else you don't know what happens. All right, we got 2 more. Josh,
would you rather live in the world of the last video game you played, or have your likeness used for a video game? Now, as you as Master Chief. Right there.
What? Oh, I just saw that. That's hilarious. I was like, why is creepy husband in the? Oh, that's me.
Oh, that's.
Man, the last game I played was I played because I never played any of them, so I played through all 3 of the Hitman series. So I just beat Hitman. That's not a good world. There's bad people doing terrible things. Have your I guess it'd be cool to have my likeness used for a video game. That'd be cool.
Now, what kind of game would it be? Would it be like an RPG? Like, what's the?
It would be an MMORPG.
I like it
because
I like it.
I liked Warcraft. I've almost decided to buy the new Amazon game, but I'm just like
New World.
Yeah, I'm like, do I want to spend hours making axes? I don't know.
Yeah, harvesting trees.
Have you played it? Either of you played
it? I have 47 hours in it already. But
what do you think? Is it worth it?
It's a great. Here's what I like about the game. I'll say what I like about it. No subscription model. You don't have to pay $15 a month. It's only $40. It is a new IP with a new studio in Amazon Games. So it's an exciting time to play the game. There's a lot of people playing it. The best time to play would probably be now in the next oncoming month if you want to try it.
Okay.
And I think with these things, it's like time will tell. The King, World of Warcraft, has only recently been dethroned in the MMORPG genre by like Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
And so now we have a true third competitor rising through the ranks. I've had a good time with it.
Okay.
I've had a good time. It's a great game. It is a time waster. It's a time sink. You find there's a lot of running, chopping trees, harvesting lumber, harvesting fibers, creating.
Things you can never do in the real world,
It's one of those games that's like, go collect 2 stones and 1 tree trunk to make this special tree trunk, which you collect with this special coal that you used a diamond and a jade to make. And then you put the jade coal and the special tree trunk together to make the axe handle of the hatchet, which you staked.
There was a guy, I forget his name, but he came up with a concept and it didn't quite work, but I liked the concept of it, which was to gamify your life in the same way. So he used a lot of the game theory stuff from these games with your life so that every time you live your day, every time you live your
get
day,
XP and level up if you took a walk or something.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
didn't quite work, but I think maybe it could.
Huh.
They need to be like an augment. Pokemon Go, for all of its bells and whistles, really got people's butts out of the seat and got you to go walk around. And it's great for exercise like that. And the game has like a built-in things like you're driving. You're like, no, I'm not. It's like, yeah, you are. You're not. No one just rocks or runs 17 miles an hour. You're driving. It
not
won't
if you're
give you the
Usain Bolt, you know.
It won't give you the point unless you're Usain Bolt playing Pokemon Go. I submit defeat to that.
Love it. All right, one more, Jonathan.
All right,
final one. Okay, here it is. Okay, would you rather have to sing a hoedown at the end of every day, or go through an entire audition with questions only?
Oh man. Well, I actually like hoedowns. Ryan is the one that hates them. I like them. I think they're silly and fun. Go through an audition with questions only. I feel like every audition I go to, I have questions, and then but I never get to read because I've used up all my time asking questions about the audition. I'm gonna say hoedown. I'm gonna say hoedown.
Fun. Fabulous. Yeah. I love a good hoedown, but I also like the Irish, what is it? The drinking song. Yeah, big fan of that.
I love all those little rhyming games. I love the rap games too. The rap games are really fun.
Heck yeah. Well, we've reached the end of the game. We've reached the end of the stream.
Did I win?
Yes.
You did.
Won.
I don't know what you
won. We're gonna give you a hot dog on a pirate ship. You're gonna.
It's in the mail.
Wait, you want to see my costume?
Yeah. Whoa. Oh my gosh. That is the best looking chair I've ever seen.
It's so 3D. Whoever painted that?
There he is. Because the angle changed. Yeah, there it is. Well, Jonathan, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much. And before we wrap it up, any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
Don't be a dick.
Oh, so important. We have another graphic. Improv Revival Show. Are you ready for a miracle? What can you tell us?
This is my friend Matthew Moore. He's in that picture there. And then Mindy Sterling's from the Groundlings. Annie Sertic is from the Groundlings. Those other great people are from Improv for the People. That's a live comedy show that we just kind of do 3 long form, fun, high energy scenes. And Matthew invites me to come play in that from time to time. So that is coming up, I believe, in October. I don't remember the date at the moment, but God, what's the date? It's a Saturday in October. So if you look at
October 16th, Improv for the People.
That's it. That is it. So if you're in LA, come check that out. It's super fun.
Yeah.
And I might say your friend Matthew does look like Thanos. I'm just going to put it out there and say I'm getting some big Thanos vibes.
He's very Thanos-y, but he's very funny too.
Big Thanos energy. I love it. Well, before we do let you go, we're going to go over our upcoming guests that we have for the rest of this month, which is already flying by and it just began. So on Thursday, we are so honored to welcome back Brian O'Halloran from Clerks. I'm just going to jam out to you, Josh. Next Tuesday, we have a special early show with Dale, who is the bassist from the band Seether. Also Thursday, we have Catherine Sutherland and also Nakia Baris from Power Rangers, which is going to be so much fun. We got the Pink and Yellow Ranger. Tuesday after, we have Nick from the band Bayside. And then we're ending our spooky month with Steve Gonzalez from Ghost Hunters and Ghost Nation. And we're very excited. Jonathan, thank you so much again. We super appreciate it. This has been so much fun.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Jonathan.
My face hurts from laughing so much. But all right, guys. Until Thursday, we'll see you guys real soon. Be safe, everybody. Au revoir. Clean.